So first of all, you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm sick, so I sound a little off. Second of all, you're gonna have to forgive this guest. You wanna do a book review with me? So I've decided two of my favorite shows here, Cobra Kai and Breaking Bad, there's a couple of scenes where they're each reading some books, and I thought, I wonder if they're, let me check those out. Let me see what they're reading. First, we're going to start with Cobra Kai, which is Johnny Lawrence. This is when he's trying to impress, old girl Allie. He's like, oh, what's she reading on Facebook? Let me just act like I'm reading the same thing. And then he throws it in the trash.
All right, looks good. Let's go.
I'm like, bro, it can't be that bad, right? So I actually went and got the book myself. Now, mind you, I never read books like this. Okay, everybody knows I'm a fantasy reader. I like action stuff. I never in my right mind would pick up a book like this. I'm gonna admit, a couple pages in, I was a little disappointed because there's this, how do I say this politely? Because it's not really a bad thing. There's big words constantly used throughout the whole thing. Every sentence, every page, there's these big words, and they're medical terms. I gave this book 5 stars. 5 stars. You hear that? 5 stars. Can you believe that? I know, right? It was just that good. I'm so surprised. Johnny said it was trash. And here I am. I've cried on this book at least twice. I don't remember when the last time I ever cried on a book, bro. From the very start, I've realized that this author, who is it? Kim something? I don't know. This author must be a doctor herself, or at least somebody who works in the medical field, because all these terms you could tell is somebody who knows what they're talking about. I don't think anybody who's just like done their research can be this good at writing an experience about actual doctor stuff. Think about, if you want to think about this book, think like Grey's Anatomy, Little Big Lies. Okay? And I love Little Big Lies because the center of this book, and I'm telling you, if Johnny would have just given this book a chance, I bet you he'd have loved it, okay? This book is about, I normally don't like when they switch point of view. Our two main characters, it's like, who the fuck are they? Zadie, Emma, and there's this dude, Nick, who comes up, and there's a little bit of like tension there, and they don't tell you what it is, and they keep teasing you with this, and they do this thing, where they flash back in time, and they get a little bit closer to revealing the secret as you go. But in between, they have all these in their real current lives. It's very good about showing us the pressure of what it means to actually be a surgeon, and not even like a top tier one, just working in the hospital in general. These people they're so overworked. We thank them every day for what they do, their service. I know they're so underappreciated, but at least by me, they have 100% of my respect for what they do. The two females in this are the main characters, and it goes back and forth between their lives and their friendship, and it does very well showing the day-to-day of how they handle the pressure of working at the hospital. It goes on to tell us some of them have children, and some of them are working like crazy shifts. I'm talking from like 6 a.m. in the morning till like 10 p.m. at night, and then getting called back in at like 2 a.m. for an emergency and working all day again. I don't know how they do it. This book does show the amazing power it has of friendship, especially between two women. There's something about friendship between women that you won't find when it comes between men. And I'm not being biased about it, like I'm just saying. It's really touching, because friends aren't perfect all the time. To be a good friend, you have to be there, not just when things go great, but at the lowest too. I feel like you shouldn't have to tell people this. It should be common sense, but here we are, 2026. You have to tell people this. It does a really good job. Not only does it keeps battling the pressure of like these poor people who also need help. And it shows empathy also. It doesn't shy away from the details. So it's very, like, I'm not trying to scare you away by saying, oh, it's very graphic. I don't want to say graphic, but you can see it. It makes you understand how hard it would be to be in this position. I don't think I could be a surgeon. Same reason I can't be a vet. You'd have to see all these injured people. And I'm sorry, but like, you have to be able to understand that one day you're not going to be able to save everybody. It deals with the guilt and mistakes, and it's hard. The pressure of having that life in your hands every day. hundreds, thousands of people. I did not expect to cry on this book. It's about the friendship between two women. It's great at holding back a secret that you just really want to get to. It goes deeply into the details of day-to-day working at a hospital. There's a lot of things I didn't realize that makes me appreciate doctors a whole lot more. Yeah, so screw you, Johnny. This is a good book. What the hell?
I'm like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah.
Next up is from my favorite TV show ever. If anybody knows me, know my favorite show is Breaking Bad.
I am awake. What?
Hank.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Where Hank is talking about idolizing criminals because he works for the DEA. And he suggests that Walter Jr. reads this book about killing Pablo.
Uncle Hank gave it to me.
And he talks about how it idolizes the real heroes who kill people.
Pablo Escobar, this big drug guy in the 80s. It's more about the guys who investigated him and tried to bring him down.
I read this book, and I tell you, again, I don't read nonfiction. And this is what I love about these kind of projects, because if it weren't for me trying the things out, this new kind of thing, I never would have considered any of these two books. And here I am with another 5-star book, Killing Pablo. The biggest point that you can make right off the bat from this is that there are so many shows, books, and media out there that idolize and romanticize criminals and villains, such as pirates and thieves. But we do need a book like this where Hank is absolutely 100% right. This book goes into the details about the people who worked so hard in order to catch this guy. And it shows the real damage that he was causing these people, the real repercussions, the deaths, the injuries, from the very start, from him as a child. It shows him as a horrible person, and it paints a picture that this ain't the charismatic actor you see on Narcos. In real life, this was a horrible person. He used people. He stole. He didn't care if people got hurt. As long as he was greedy.
Loser! You're a loser!
There's so many details, especially about if you're really interested in history. It goes into back from when the decisions the U.S. made when concerning Colombia and the trade routes in there, and how the U.S. went out of their way to catch this guy, and how many drugs that they've stopped from entering the country. The number is outrageous.
I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it.
It's so good on the action. It reads like a fiction book. There's little hints of like Spanish in there, so you could learn a little bit of the culture. It tells you each person that was involved in the operation by name. So it names all these generals, all these soldiers, everybody who was involved in taking him down. And just like Hank said, it puts the light on these brave people, the ones who were willing to go after him. And the barriers we had when it came to the being blocked by corruption and the advances on technology, the tactics that the U.S. used during those times. It goes into really great detail about like the Delta team. My favorite thing about it is that it just does so good making this villain an unlikable person as a villain is supposed to be. All these villains are not supposed to be liked, that we just romanticize all the time. And I love the book so much for that. So yeah, there you go. Thank you, Hank.
It's easy money. Till we catch you.
So these both books, in my opinion, got 5 stars from me. Isn't that amazing? And if it wasn't, again, for this project, I never would have picked up either of these books. Something else that's really cool is that the author of this book, Mark Bowden, he was also the author of Black Hawk Down. He personally went and interviewed these people to get their experience to put in this book. He didn't just take things off of Google and said, this happened. He got these accounts firsthand from the people who were involved. So even if these people passed away and they were the only ones who knew what happened, at least we have this account in this book, so it's not forgotten. I remember a while back there was a magazine. It became a big deal because people were asking, why are we putting these guys on the front of the magazine? When did we start glorifying criminals and stop mentioning the victims? I've always been a huge fan of true crime, but I watch it for the justice because I want to see the bad guy taken down. I don't think, oh wow, that guy was so cool, he killed all the people. No, I want to see that he gets what he deserves. That's what I loved about this book. The only issues that I may have with this book, if I have to mention some, the timeline sometimes isn't linear. It's as if, it's kind of like, the best way I can explain it is people go, oh, the guy's such a bad actor, but it's a martial artist. And you say, oh, he's a bad actor, but it's because the guy's a martial artist. He's a good fighter, but he's not a good actor, so they need him for the fighting scenes. And it's kind of the same way. He does great at telling the story, but it's kind of like he just threw all his notes down, and a lot of them are kind of out of order. He will mention something, and then he will jump back into the timeline, like as a quick reference to a note from before. And I'm wondering why he didn't just put it there when we talked about that specific instance the first time. Sometimes it becomes a little confusing to keep up, especially because there's so many names. We talked with the DEA, the CIA, the Delta people, even another group called Los Pebes. There's a lot of names that get thrown around that people run into, that they talk to, and you don't know if they're really that relevant or not. It pushes back against the media who shows these guys. It shows you how Escobar is just lawless and greedy and selfish, and it puts the spotlight on our police force and our heroes, which I think we do need now. So if you're like me and you're into true crime or thrillers or political thrillers even, shit, this book is totally for you. So yeah, that's all I have today. I just wanted to let you know about these 2 books that I've read, and I highly recommend them. I mean, I just want to encourage people to step out of their comfort zone. That's all I have. But I guess I owe these 2 more credit than whatnot. So thank you for watching. Till next time. I lost my review buddy. Where'd you go? Yeah, there you are. There you are.